Ladies, thank you for being here today. So I'm going to let you introduce yourselves because I've got Pinky and I've got Jennifer.
Yes.
And the two of you provided support and care for your mom
Yes.
through the course of her dementia.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about each of you. Like, who are you and what have you done in your life other than support and care for your mom? And same, both of y'all.
My name is Pinky Melvin. I'm married to Garnier Melvin. I have one child. My daughter, she's 47. Um,
How do you have a child that's 47? No. How young are you?
well, what happened? Well, we're not going to get into that story
Oh, okay.
right
Well,
now.
we won't
Yeah,
get
we'll
into.
talk about
I'm so
that after.
sorry. I didn't. I'll mean that to be.
No, but we can get into that
how?
after.
You got a child. You can't be that old. You're a young thing.
Yes.
Okay.
My name is Jennifer Howard, and I'm married. I've been married 30 years, and I have one child who is 25.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's
Younger kid,
25.
older kid.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Both the
Yes.
kids around, or are they?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So at some point in this thing, mom, you were part of your mom's life, and mom was part of your life.
Yes.
Yes.
Local?
Yes.
Yes.
And how about other family members?
It's a total. It's 7 of us in all,
Okay.
and 4 has passed on,
Oh,
and it's 3 of us that's left.
wow.
Mhm.
So losing 4
Siblings.
of her children,
Children.
Yes.
and 4 of your siblings.
Yes.
That's a
Yes.
lot of loss.
It
That's a
is.
lot of loss.
Was there a lot of grief in that and from your mom and sadness, or it?
It was sadness.
Mhm.
It was a lot of sadness and grief.
hmm
But she always taught us that we hold on to our faith,
Mhm.
and it's a faith journey,
Yeah,
and that from the day that we're born with an expiration date,
yeah. And we're going to go home.
and we're
We're
gonna
going
go
home.
home.
We're going to go home. And it's
We're
just
gonna go
going
home.
home. It's just like we're just going home.
We're just
That's
going
it.
home.
In the meantime, we travel.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you all stay in this area pretty much your whole lives,
Yes.
or were you
Yes.
here and gone and back?
Mm-mm,
No, you
here.
stayed here the whole time.
Stayed here.
How about the other family members?
They were all here.
All here.
All here.
All here.
So, mom was how old when first signs and signals that something was happening for her happened?
I
Would you
want to say she probably was about 70.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
About
70.
70.
About 70.
Mhm.
And so, you all both picked up on it at the same time, or one of you more than another, or how did it start?
Well, we used to go to dinner all the time at mom's
Mm-hmm.
house.
Uh huh.
And I remember one night we went to, it was a church service,
Uh-huh.
and my mom came down to where, because the service was closer to my home. And we went to the service, and we always say we're going to call her to check on her when she gets home. But we kept calling. She was not at home.
Oh.
So she had somewhere in the meantime gotten lost
Oh, my.
of trying to find her way back home. Because
And
she
it was
was
dark
trapping
out.
herself, and it
It
was
was
dark
dark.
out.
And that
So
wasn't.
that was a small
That was
flag.
That was a tiny
that
thing.
That was a tiny thing.
How did you did she get home on her own?
She got home on her own.
Yes.
How
she
long
called
after?
us up. Probably about 45 minutes to an hour
Wow.
later.
How far away is it?
About a good 15, 20 minute
20.
drive.
So, I mean, that was pretty
Yes.
far
yeah,
lost.
because the church was open Hampton.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and she lived
yeah.
up in
that was the
And it's a
first
Murners
fairly
Green.
it's a not that
Right.
It's
Not
a
that
tall,
straight.
it's a
no.
straight shot, as we
Yes.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was first warning.
That was
Yes,
first
that was
warning.
first
And
warning.
then
We went to her house for dinner. We were sitting having dinner one evening because I used to go sometimes. We went every day to see her to check on her, but we left work that day. I remember we were sitting at the table having dinner, and she said she had been to the doctor, and he said that she had dementia. And she said he don't know what he talking about. I don't have no dementia. So Pinky and I both looked at each other like, like, yeah, just like
Wow.
that. So she said it, and then we just like, oh my gosh. So we knew he would not have said that to her
yeah.
if he had not.
And she didn't believe she had
didn't
it.
believe-
She didn't believe she had
It
it.
was just like, that's nonsense. That's
nonsense.
garbage.
She
I
said,
don't know
"That's
what
not
he's talking
true."
about. That's not true.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
not
So,
true.
but for you, it was the,
the red
That
flag.
was a red flag.
oh
Yeah.
boy. So
And
a
so-
doctor thinks she has dementia.
Yes.
Yeah.
So were you able to get back to that
Yes,
doctor and then
yes,
find
we
out what it
did.
was that triggered him into thinking that?
Because I think when she went to see the doctor,
Mm-hmm.
and he always go in and he go, Miss Royal, how are you doing today? And she goes, I'm doing fine, doc. And he goes, well, what brings you to see me today? She's because I just wanted to see you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
she
she couldn't
left
even
her
re-
doctor.
She couldn't
She
figure
couldn't
out
figure
what
out
it
why.
was
You know, what
that
she was
brought
there
her to the
for.
doctor. It was
Right.
gone. It was totally gone.
Yeah.
Did she have health problems before that you know about, like
No.
hypertension or diabetes or anything
But
like
she's
that?
always had those issues, but
Yes.
that was
Oh, she
nothing that kept her
has.
down. That
Okay,
was
but she's
nothing
had
that-
But
those
she's
two
had
for a
those two.
while.
Yes.
Yeah.
So at first, did you wonder whether if we get the diabetes under control better,
did
if
that
we get
herself.
she
She
managed
did.
all
She
that
She
managed
well,
lost
it.
a ton of
and
weight.
so it was. So she was in
She did.
She was
decent
in
shape.
total
Oh, yeah, she
control
was.
of her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you knew
started
that wasn't
controlling.
going to do it.
No.
That was not going to do it.
No.
So did you then dig in a little bit deeper of what kind of dementia, what the heck is going on here, where are we on this journey, or what happened for you next?
Well, my mom lived by herself,
Mm-hmm.
and we okay. So as it started to progress, the dementia started to progress because
So,
it was.
wait a minute now. She announces, I don't have it, but he says I do. And then you
Right.
guys are like, uh-oh.
And then Jennifer
Yeah.
looks at me and she goes,
We just got to
we
keep
need
close
to,
eye on
we
her.
need to go to the doctor and
see what's
we just
going
gotta
on
see
here.
what's going
with her.
on.
Was she okay with y'all going, or
Yeah,
did
she
you go
didn't-
by
She
her?
didn't. She didn't fight us.
She was
She was
okay.
just- she was
Yeah,
okay.
She was
She
okay.
just she was sure she,
She
didn't have
trusted.
dementia.
She
Right.
trusted
And
us.
Jennifer said to her, I remember Jennifer said to her, she said,
Yeah.
Mom, do you trust Pinky and I? And she said, yes, I do. She said, well, then if you trust Pinky and I, then you
Yeah.
know we our only concern is you.
So we would
So
always
we will
do what's
always do
best.
what is best for you.
Yeah, we would never
And
not do
we
what's
would
best
never-
for you.
And
And we're
she
not-
said, okay. And
And
so we
that's-
had no problem. And then she did power of attorney. She didn't fight us on anything.
Yeah.
Wow.
She
Yeah.
just
When I got an attorney
Nice.
and did
power of
everything.
attorney,
And she
yeah.
just let us just,
So who took lead?
Jennifer.
Well,
I love
know
how
you
that finger
laughing,
just went
but-
right up. Jennifer.
Jennifer.
So you are the organizer a little bit more, it
Yes.
sounds like.
I think Pinky's probably more of an organizer, but anyway, I just my mom and I was really close.
Yes.
Okay.
'Cause
I
she's
was the
baby.
youngest girl,
You're the baby girl.
so I always stuck close to her,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
we both paid close attention to her because when we did for her, we did it together.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
You two are on the same page.
Yes.
Yeah, we always and
We've
we
always
never
on the same page.
we never fought over anything.
And you don't care who's in charge.
Don't
No,
care.
not
That
at
was not
all.
even important
That
to
wasn't even
us.
important. The only thing that's important is
Is
our
that
mom.
she was taken care
Yeah,
of.
she was taken care of.
Yeah.
And she
So-
got the best care.
Yeah. So how did you do the moving in thing?
Well, what we did, my mom had her own place.
Mm-hmm.
And so we still not moved in because I had my own. I was married. I'm married
Okay.
with child. My sister was married, but my mom wouldn't move in with anybody.
I
But
know
during
she- yeah.
holidays and whatever, I
she
always
would
invite her
not.
to come stay. And didn't ever want her to leave and go home. But you know, she'll stay for a week or two and then she'll go home.
She going home.
She's going home. But so what we started to do as we started to see the dementia really kicking in with her forgetting to eat.
Yep.
So we were basically buying her dinner, buying her breakfast, dropping it off. But when I get off from work and go back, it's still there.
Still there.
Right.
Yeah.
And she would tell you that she's eating.
Yeah, and
Right.
so she
She
wouldn't remember whether
She
she
didn't
did
remember
or
what
she
she
didn't.
ate or not.
She wasn't lying. She,
She
just,
d- she
really
just
didn't
didn't
have any
remember.
idea
And
whether
we had
she
unplugged
did.
the stove, so
Yep.
she couldn't
She couldn't
Couldn't
do the
cook.
cooking.
she couldn't cook. She couldn't
Yeah.
do anything.
No,
Yeah.
but she
Yeah.
still wasn't able to organize that. So
Right.
you were rolling right along.
We was
So
Yeah.
when was the first symptom? How long ago did this start for y'all?
oh
I was she probably was about 70 when she first told us and we
Yeah.
started seeing the
Yes.
So
little
that was
signs.
20,
Yeah. And
2000,
then
2000, early in 2000.
early in 2000.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
over the course of time,
Over the course of time,
it progressed
it
and
progressed
it progressed.
on.
Mhm.
And I think the most thing that stuck out with me was her neighbor. She brought her neighbor to church one Sunday. And after church, they said, Pinky and Jennifer, your mom gone home? She brought me to church today. So we call her up and go, Ma, you brought your neighbor to church? She was like, oh,
Oh,
I sure did. And she had left
she's
the
still
lady.
there?
Right. So Jennifer and I took her neighbor home. And that was really the big sign. She forgot that she brought her neighbor to church.
Wow.
So
But she laughed and
but
we laughed.
We laughed. We didn't we just thought it was just hilarious.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
well, it is
So,
pretty funny.
right,
It's like-
Yeah.
And if y'all laugh together, you're not laughing
We
at her.
right.
It's just a funny
we just
situation.
laughed together.
Yeah.
So at
Yeah.
that moment, you realize,
Mhm.
ooh,
So then we took the card.
mm,
So that's when the car had to go.
how did that go?
She didn't
She didn't fight much because she didn't go out at night
Right.
anyway. She
So-
was a day girl. She just
Were you guys? Did you take over as chauffeurs?
yes.
Yes.
If she
Yes.
wanted to go anywhere,
Wherever she
whenever.
wanted to go.
We picked her up. We took
picked
her
her up,
grocery
we took
store,
her
and all she
grocery
liked was
store,
grocery
church.
shopping because she ordered everything offline.
Right.
Any shopping she did as far as clothing, it was online. She had every magazine, every catalog.
How'd you control that?
We couldn't.
it-
It had a
I
hard
really-
time with
we
that.
had a hard time.
Oh,
That
did
was
you
a hard
return it
time.
afterward, or what y'all did?
No, we had to end up making
Taking
sure
the
that everything-
checkbook.
take the checkbook, and then
Okay.
making sure that when somebody called, she couldn't do business with them over the
yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
'Cause she's skillful.
Right.
Yeah.
She
She
was very
negotiated that.
skillful.
She knew.
Packages would come on the porch, and
They'd
then
be on
she'd
the
go,
porch. And,
I didn't order that. That's not mine.
yeah.
That's not mine.
So
I don't know
she-
how that got there.
Right.
That's
Uh-huh.
it.
Yeah.
But she's, just so much joy and laughter, and just
So it got harder and harder.
It did.
Let's
It
not
did.
kid. It,
Oh,
it
no.
got
It
harder.
was-
got
She
harder.
was needing help with bathing. She
Everything.
was needing help with getting up, sitting down, moving around,
Everything.
eating.
eating.
How did that go for y'all?
Well, that's when it got really, really hard. And I remember it was in November, right before the Monday before Thanksgiving. It was just so happens I had taken vacation. I was on vacation that week, and we had already called her sisters because we all go to the same church. So we called her sisters because we didn't want to do anything. We didn't want to do anything to hurt her sisters, and we wanted to let her sisters know everything we're doing it for the best of our mom. But we respected them enough to include them
Let
on
them
every decision
know.
that we
Yes.
made.
Mhm.
So we called them one Sunday. We wanted to talk to them, and they all came over. And we explained to them that she was getting older. Her dementia's really kicking in now, which they saw it too.
Okay.
And we say, hey, she needs to. We're going to put her
she needs
into
24-hour care.
into something we cannot provide.
Yeah.
We want to do what's best for her. So her sister said, one sister said, we was wondering when y'all going to get to that point.
Oh.
So they already were feeling what we knew
You knew you were
and
gonna
that
have
wasn't
to do
doing.
We knew
something.
we was going to have to
that
do
we
it.
had to
Have
do something.
Yes.
So I contacted social services, and it was a very nice young lady that came out. They did a home visit. Just so happens when they was going to do the home visit, and they brought a nurse. I think it was a nurse and a social worker, and they came out to evaluate her. And they spoke with her, and I was talking, and she said, "Okay, Jennifer, so you don't answer any more questions. Let your mom talk." And then when they asked my mom could not answer questions that they were asking, just basic stuff.
Yeah.
And so at the end, no, she was the nurse. She said that your mom cannot be by herself anymore because if something happened to your mom, we're gonna take in. Y'all gonna be in trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
You girls gonna be
Ooh.
in trouble.
Yes.
Ouch.
So
Well,
that,
that's
right, that
pretty
was an
harsh.
ouch.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
We're going to hold you
So,
accountable for
yeah.
your
We're gonna hold you
mom?
accountable for your mom.
Wow.
So at that point right there, we knew that it was something that we had to do. We both were working. She needs 24-hour care. She don't need just a part-time caretaker. She needs 24 hours.
24-hour.
Financially, we know that we neither one had that financial aid to do that. So we knew the only other thing we could do was put her in the nursing home. So we searched, and the caseworker that she had at that time, she was a very nice young lady, and she helped me, and she helped us. Everything happened like clockwork. This was in November, the end of November, right before Thanksgiving. Let's say by December the 15th, I remember sitting at my desk and my
December
phone
15th.
rang, and it was the social services that called me. The young lady called and said, "Hey, we got a place for your mom." But the thing is, she said, "Jennifer, you got to have your mom there by the 30th of
we'll lose the
December."
slot.
I started to cry, and I said, "I'm not ready for this." I said, "I know that I asked for the help, but I'm not ready for the help. I'm not ready to let go." So she helped me, and she just talked me through it. She said, "Hey, I know, I understand, but if you don't do it now with Medicaid, it'll kick back, and you're going to lose it because you didn't use it."
Right.
Yep.
So we went down to what we did.
So
We went
somebody
to
pushed you
Yes.
had
to
to
the
push.
wall.
To the wall.
And she kept you to the wall
She kept me to
Yes.
the wall
until you said, "Uncle,"
Yes.
because you did not want to do that.
because I
Right.
did not want to do it.
Then I
You
wanna
weren't
do
ready.
it.
Was
Not
not
ready.
Nobody was ready.
Nobody
was
is ready.
ready.
You're never going to be ready
Never gonna be
Never.
ready.
because you
Never.
really didn't want to do
Didn't
this.
want to do it.
Mm-mm.
Hurt me to my heart to do it. I cried. So I had made myself ill. So Pinky and I talked about it, and we went over to the nursing home to visit with the nursing home.
Yep.
Saw everything. They took us around, and we liked what we saw. And my mom, actually went there, took stuff off. We started taking stuff off her wall to make the room like her home.
Uh-huh.
So we went in and did a pre-decoration, putting up her pictures, all of their pictures on the wall. Everything
her
was around. Took her chair,
Took
put
the
everything in there,
pillows,
Pillows,
everything that we
everything,
could put in
everything,
that
as
room
much
everything.
like you could.
that we could
And
before she got
literally
there.
thought that was her home.
And so she went in there and it
And-
was just as smooth as silk.
No.
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 Because it's interesting. It
No.
either goes smooth as silk or
Right.
it was the worst possible thing because you're dumping me
worst
here. You
possible
took
thing.
all my stuff and you brought it here.
Yes.
How dare you? I never thought you'd do this to me.
Well, she didn't say that part, but she always felt like somebody was in her house.
Because she had a
thought
room.
that was her house.
Oh, so
somebody-
So
now
when-
we got a different problem
Yes.
because this
Right.
is her place
This
and
is
y'all
her
get out of
place.
here.
Right.
Right,
This
because
is my
this
house.
is my house.
This is
And
my
I didn't
house.
invite any
And
of
I
That's
didn't
it.
invite you
and
in.
you need to get yourselves out of
That's
here.
it.
Did she get a little hostile
She
with
Very
people who
hostile.
wouldn't leave?
She had how many roommates?
Oh
Three?
my gosh. I even went to nursing home and I
Oops.
said,
Oh
I
yeah, these
said
are
to-
double bedrooms.
Yeah.
Oh my!
So
So,
I-
this is her whole
This
house.
is whole
Her whole house.
And so there was a roommate in
Yes.
there. What
Roommate.
in the world?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I thought they was going to kick her out.
Well,
So I went to the nursing home. I
what
was
in the
like,
world
oh my
they
gosh.
put somebody in with?
Right. That was the thing.
I'm sorry, I know she's mad,
Please.
Right.
but for her, she'd been living in her house by herself
Absolutely.
for years. There wasn't really the system doesn't acknowledge where
Right.
somebody's coming
Coming
from.
from.
This woman has not lived with anybody in her
No
house.
one in her house.
And somebody's gonna sleep in my bedroom.
That's
Yeah.
it.
I don't think so.
You know.
I'm calling the police.
Yes,
Mr.
that was her
Police,
favorite
you
word.
need to
That's her
come here.
favorite word.
I'm
calling
calling the
I'm
police.
calling the police.
I'm calling the police. This is you get out. I'm calling the police. now.
That was her
I'm
favorite
gonna go-
word.
I need y'all to call
her
the
favorite word.
police.
That's
to
what she
me.
said.
That's what she
That's
said.
right, because this woman's in here.
In
She
here.
keeps coming in here.
That's
I've told
right.
her to get on out. I don't mean to
That's
be mean.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, now one strategy I've used with some women who are faith-based women,
Yes.
I'll
Yeah.
say, this is a charity case. And I know we didn't ask, we should have asked.
Yeah.
But she needs a place to stay.
Right.
The poor woman has nowhere to go. And I hate it. But I'm asking, for the love of God, would you give her a place to stay for a few nights? Nobody thought of
Right.
that when I'm
No.
thinking.
That's right.
Because I've been around long enough. I've been
Yes.
around 45 years trying to do
Yes.
stuff. And I've
Yes.
seen lots of situations where it's my house. Get them out.
Get her out.
Yes.
It's like, unless we come up with a strategy that makes
Right.
sense to
To
her,
her.
Right.
and feeds her soul.
Absolutely.
She's a Christian
That's
woman
right.
who will
Absolutely.
give
Right.
from
Yes.
the heart,
Right.
but nobody asked for
Right.
her
Permission.
gift.
Right.
They took over and,
Took over.
and that
That's
was
it.
not right.
It was not
So
right.
did she end up on some medication or?
She did.
Right, because before she went there, doctor, her
What's-
doctor had put her on medication for her dementia. So she was already taking
She
something.
was taking medication
She
for
was
dementia.
taking-
She
yes.
was taking some things that were
Yes.
supposed to help with her
Yes.
thinking, her memory, not her memory, but her skills, whatever she had to make it
Yes.
the best it could be.
Yes.
Right.
Now we were starting to talk about medicine, though, to manage the behavior. I'm betting. That's my
Yes.
best guess. Now I'm not
Right. So they had to
involved,
give
but
her something because
She was
I could be there, we'll
distressed.
be there, and then I go home and they'll be calling me back. Nurse home is calling me back because she's screaming my name out, just like all night,
Yep.
screaming
Well,
for us
You've
to
always
come
come
back.
through.
Right.
and
Yeah.
That's
helped
it.
out. And there's
Yes.
somebody in her house.
And I hear Jennifer down the hallway. She could hear a nurse talking, and she was. I mean, you couldn't tell her that was not Jennifer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jennifer, Jennifer,
Yeah,
you heard
so-
me calling you.
When I get off from work, so we made it.
Yeah.
It became our life. It was our lives now.
Yeah.
We talked to our husbands, and our husbands both on the same page, and they said, "Hey, you do whatever you need to do to take care of your mom." So we were there from the moment in the morning
Until
Till she went to sleep at night.
until she went to sleep
until
at
they
night.
actually
And
kicked us
that's
out
how
at
you
night.
survived.
And that's how,
That's
we,
how we
survived.
survived.
And that's how she survived.
And
And
that's how she survived.
survived.
And then we'd go to work, so she knew when we was at work, and she knew when we left
you'd
work,
go
we're
to
going to
work.
be there.
Yeah.
Right.
So you would be there.
And
And
we
she
would
could
be there.
count on that.
And she
Every
knew the
and that
time.
rhythm. And she knew
Even-
the exact
She
time.
knew the
because
exact
she was,
time.
When we were
she's a
coming.
detail
She
lady,
did.
so
She
she's
was in
got-
detail.
And that rhythm started to make sense to her brain, and she started to settle
That's
in.
it.
Right.
But she still didn't like.
She did
No.
not like.
Didn't like it. She never
No.
did like
She
it.
never
You
did.
hated it. I mean,
Yes.
be honest.
No.
I mean, y'all.
Oh,
that
no,
would
we
be
did
the
not
first
like it.
Because it became our lives. It was like we lived
Yes.
at the nursing home.
Yeah.
So we knew everybody at the nursing home. Everybody knew us.
Yep. Yeah.
We
Everybody.
took care of them.
Yep.
We'd bring lunch sometimes. We'd bring them dinner because we just wanted, we had one agenda.
And that
You
was
take
our
good care of
mom.
her,
And we're
and
going to take good care of you. And that's what we did.
And then who took care of you?
The good Lord.
Yeah. That was.
Yeah,
It was all
the good
and
Lord.
prayer.
He
Prayer
gave
to
us
the
prayer.
Lord.
Lots
of
of
prayer.
prayer.
Yeah.
Lots
Lots
of
of prayer.
prayer.
So what were your
He saw
blood
us through.
pressures running those days?
Oh,
It was probably pretty high, but then
Yeah.
God allowed me to retire.
Ah, okay.
And then when I retired,
Uh-huh.
I was able to be there at the nursing home.
And so the stress level went
So
down.
the stress level changed.
You weren't trying to
I wasn't trying to
run
get
2
there.
lives and then
Right.
do this and then get home.
And she
then
didn't
go
have to worry.
sleep
So
and-
her stress level went down because she knew
that,
I
yeah.
was always there during the
So-
day when she got off from work. So we just,
You
Yeah,
just
just
tag
switch
team.
roles. We just
You would
switch
tag it
roles.
up.
right.
Yeah.
One
so-
went during the day,
and
did
one went in
lunch,
the evening.
and one went in
So
the
and
the
she
evening.
did the
stress went
dinner.
down.
So the
So-
stress went, everything
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything changed.
And how long did this last? Once
7
was in-
years.
7 years. So as over time her
Mhm.
abilities went downhill and went
Yes.
downhill,
Mhm.
you were still staying present
Oh,
every day.
single-
Every
never
So
day.
when COVID kicked in, we used to go to her window.
Go to her window, and we have church service
At her window, and we
and
sing.
We would sing. They would, we
would
would call the
crack
nursing
the window.
home.
She cracked
They cracked the
They
window.
cracked the window. Somebody go in her room and crack the window, and we would sing her favorite song.
And she's sitting, she
And
lay in her
she
bed
just-
and she sings,
And she sings, and she's just rocking and
clapping.
Praying and
clapping and
clapping.
praising. And we
Yeah.
would stand at that window for about in 30 or 40 minutes. And then in the wintertime, when it got cold, it's really too cold, but we would need to see her.
Yep.
So
we-
we just,
Didn't
and we
matter.
tell the nurse, don't leave, because we just
never
want to
would
sing
stay.
one
We
just-
song.
Yeah.
We're just gonna sing.
We gonna
Just
sing
please
one
stay.
song.
Please stay.
Just want to
But
see
they
her.
did. They allowed
worked
us to
with
do it. They
us.
worked with us.
Yeah.
And I literally take my hat off to them because they worked with us. And then they did video cam where we could do a
Yep.
video. They would go in the room. So everybody, God put all the right people in the right place to do the right thing for
Yeah.
us.
Wow.
Yes.
And we're forever so grateful.
Well,
Yeah.
and what I would say in return is y'all are amazing women who made yourselves present and made
Yes.
yourselves available.
Mhm.
And without you, they would have had a much more difficult
Yes.
time.
Yes.
And she would have been in and out of the facility,
Yes.
going to the psych center
Yes.
and
Mhm.
being, blackballed
Yes,
and not put back
absolutely.
in. And
Yeah.
so you all made all the difference in the world for each other.
It's
Yes.
teamwork.
It was
Yeah.
teamwork.
It is
Yeah.
teamwork.
all
And
the
so
way.
she finally got to go home in February of last
February
year.
5th.
Uh-huh. February 5th
Yeah.
Mhm.
of 2023.
And she was how old at that time?
84.
84.
84.
84.
And you celebrated her whole life.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Oh, we
Yeah.
celebrated. We celebrate. Even when she passed,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
we celebrated.
There was nothing to regret.
It was no,
Nothing
it
to
was no
regret.
regrets.
No
There were
regrets.
no regrets. It was just,
Because-
it was just to see the manifestation of God,
Mhm.
how he just wrapped his arms around us,
Mhm.
and he allowed us all the golden,
Yeah.
your golden years. We had them all with
You
our
were there.
mom.
You were
Yeah,
there.
we were
Yeah.
there.
You were
We were
always
there.
be able
Always
to be
there.
present
Yes.
Always present.
because of his support and your choices.
Yes,
Mhm.
that's
And
it.
you move forward in life now.
Yes,
And how are you using what you learned?
it was hard.
It was hard.
Oh, it
because-
was so hard. We didn't even know how to have a life.
Yeah.
We could not literally go into the house when we get off. When she got off from work, we were like,
What are we gonna do now?
"What we gonna do now?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to the nursing home.
Yeah.
And believe it or not,
Mhm.
we have not been able to go back in the nursing home.
Yeah.
I believe
I've not been back.
I believe
We've never been back.
that empty space would
That
be
empty
too big.
space is-
would be
Yeah.
way too big.
It's
Way too
way
big.
too big. It is way too big.
Yeah.
It is way too big.
How are the two of you doing now?
Well, we're
Yeah,
fine.
we're okay.
Yeah, we're okay.
We're okay.
Yep.
We're okay.
And your
Okay.
spouse as well?
yes.
Yes. I guess they,
You're not entering a new care situation right away.
No.
You
No.
guys,
no.
you've
Right.
got a break at least.
Yes, we
gotta
got to
break.
break.
You got a break.
We got to break.
And you're retired.
yes.
She's retired.
So you doing anything with that?
I do volunteer at church on Wednesdays.
Uh-huh.
We feed.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
just
Small things.
small things
And getting your life back.
and getting my life
together.
back
Starting to figure out what that's going to be.
and what it's going to be
Yes.
Yeah.
and what it's going to
And
be.
you're still working,
I'm still working.
Mhm.
Yes.
but you're figuring out what's
I'm-
going to
What?
happen in your evenings and your weekends.
Yes.
And that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So as you look into your community
Mhm.
and you're thinking, what's the legacy? What's the legacy you're leaving and your mom left? Where is that for you?
Never lose your hope.
Mhm.
Never give up. Never lose your hope. And always press your way. And you have to choose joy. Because she was such a joyful person. I mean, she would just light up a room. Even in the nursing facility, she would talk. They would go in her room, the nurses, the aides would go in there and sit down and have conversations with her. I'd be like, do they not know that she have dementia? And they talked about their marriage, and they talked about their children, and she's giving advice. I'm like, Jennifer,
Yes.
Mama in here talking to them. But that was just who
Sometimes
she
I could go
was.
in there and I say, you know what, there's nothing wrong with you today, girl. You don't
Right.
have dementia.
Because she's always giving
She
you
was
advice, and she
so
tell you
full
need to
of
leave
joy.
him, or you need to spank that baby. And she always felt like she had children.
Yeah.
So she go, Pinky, was those kids out there in the yard? I go, yes, ma'am. She said, it's time for them kids to come in. I go, well, the mom, they don't have to come in because their mom picked them up. And she go, she didn't pick them up because she ain't came in here and paid me yet. And then I say to her, my mom, I go, no, Mom, that she gave me your money. She said, no, I don't know why she gave you my money.
Don't you be giving
Don't-
my money.
right.
That's right. Where's my money?
Where's
then?
my money?
And so you ended up having to turn over some
You
cash,
open up your
didn't you?
you open up your pocketbook, take some dollars out.
You got it.
And then I go, Mom, see right here, but Jennifer's gonna take your money and put it in the bank. Okay.
Okay.
That's what
She was
yeah.
And it ended back up in your
wherever her
wallet.
mind
Was-
takes her,
Good.
You would just
We
follow
just
along.
follow.
Go with the flow.
we go with the flow.
You go with her
We
flow.
go- you go with the
Don't try to
flow.
fix her. Just be with her.
Just
we
be
never
with
try
enjoy
to fix
her.
her. We just
Yeah.
let
Enjoy,
her go.
let it happen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just let it
Well,
go.
you are absolutely wonderful women.
Oh, thank
Well,
you.
thank
And your mama did a good job.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank
And
you.
you did a good job with
Thank
your mama.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
oh,
you.
Oh,
Yes,
thank
thank
you for
you.
being here.
Thank
Yes.
you
What
so
a joyful
much.
story.
Yes.
Thank y'all.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.